G'day guys, welcome to Ask Woodford. My name is Christian Woodford. Now, Ask Woodford is all about you. Yes, this is all about answering your questions as it pertains to training, athlete development, injury reduction, rehab, or even life. We want to help everyone, and that comes from coaches, athletes, to the general population trainer, whoever it is. We also want to thank our sponsor, macironfitness.com.au. Mac Iron Fitness is the premium supplier of all bands, rollers, and massage therapy balls for Woodford Sports Science Consulting. So sit back and enjoy the Ask Woodford show.
Ask Woodford, episode 20, guys. We are back, but this time we have some very special guests, right? But before we start, remember, if you want to follow us on Instagram, Woodford SSC, get around it. If you want to keep listening to more different podcasts, Ask Woodford on Spotify, like it, share it. So many different topics. Every week it's completely different. So you tune into different ones and let us know if you have any questions. And if you want to watch the YouTube video, again, get around it on Christian Woodford on YouTube. But today we have some very special guests. For me, again, coaching, all the coaches here at WCC, we love what we do. We're very passionate, we care, we're very unique. And for my coaching career, there's some athletes that are very influential during my time. And these three boys here today, Bennett, Nathan, and Danny, have been probably the most influential kids I've ever worked with. 3 years strong. Boys, how are you?
Yeah, good.
Not too bad. We're going pretty well.
Yeah, going well.
Keen to be here today.
Yeah. Danny?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, you can speak too, yeah. So Danny just got his wisdom teeth out, taken out on Friday. He looks like a chipmunk. It's great, so we'll get a zoom in on that, on his face. But you look good, Danny. How you feeling?
Feeling good.
Yeah?
Jaws, feeling good.
Now, okay, listen. Like I said, when you coach, like again, when I coach, it's a very special thing to me. But again, not every person is the same. Sometimes there's those certain people that when you work with them, you're like, I love this. The energy, the commitment, the discipline, and you boys have just done that. 3 years. Do you want to kind of, Benny, started us off on like how we met, how we got about it, how it all started?
Well, it started off with Nathan. He first came to the gym, I believe, and Danny.
Danny.
And I found out about you through Nathan, who recommended me to you, because me and Nathan had previously done some training together at school and all that. So then had a meeting with you and was in ever since then.
Yeah, Danny, what about you?
Well, I was too young to go to a normal gym. So then I looked around and I was old enough to go here.
Mind you, when Danny called me over the phone, when I had his little console call over the phone, I thought I was speaking to a 9-year-old. I was actually quite square, but he had that energy. He had that energy. He wanted to be better. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Nath came along.
Yeah, I had some football coaches and they said if you want to play like the best, you got to train like the best in S&C. And they gave me Christian Woodford's number and said, Woody's not up early in the morning. So gave me Chris's number, and since then we had a meeting, started talking, told Benny to come down, and ever since just been locked in. 3 years been working with him every morning.
Yeah, bro. I love that. Again, to give some context based on the time, Danny, do you want to kind of tell us what your training's been like? Again, before we even get into questions and things, to explain the actual work that we've done together, do you want to kind of give us a little heads up on like the time, the amount of times you come in, how long you've been coming in?
We come in 3 times during the season and 4 times in the off season.
Yep.
And then
what times?
Usually come in about 5:20.
Yep.
I'd say.
Nice and early.
Here about 5:10.
Yep. That little 10 minutes extra.
And then Nathan's here probably 5:40.
Yeah, a bit later.
So
5:50.
pretty much before anyone's waking up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we do our session for about an hour and a bit. And Chris coaches us and then we go home.
Chris coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's normally, so we all have different routines. Like these two boys, Benny and Danny, will go home and eat breakfast and do that. And then I'll get ready before I even come in, school bag, all of that. And then straight from here to school and we do that. Go to school, and then there's normally more training after school. I'm pretty sure it's the same for these boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, oval after school.
Can I just add, at the start of all this, me and Nathan, I know we came in 5 days a week at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
We used to go straight from here to school.
That was COVID though.
Yes,
things changed a lot.
So, 5 days a week, that was mad.
A lot of training. And then you guys are hitting speed as well. So to let you guys know, these boys are hitting 3 full body days a week. Right, in season, again, 2 full body, one's a DE day, dynamic day, close to in season, close to the game day in season. And then we're hitting speed stuff as well. Then now in the off season, these boys again will do 3 gym, a speed with me, and they got more runs extra on top of that. So in terms of training for the past 3 years, you guys have really been immersed in what it's like to be a high performance culture, right? Would you agree?
Oh yeah,
100%.
definitely. Like,
Yeah.
you don't get it like better anywhere else. We get like things on our programs to like well-being, how we're going, always like consistent meetings, talking to us, going through everything, making sure we're always doing right. And like, not like a lot of physios will like make you stop training. Here with Chris, every time like we get injured, we never stop. We always modify, and that's something Chris has always gone on
It's
about.
like it's so personalised for how we're going and how our body's feeling. Like I reckon almost every week at the end of games, I'm talking to Dirk how I'm feeling and all that. So personalised. Like if we have a niggle somewhere, we can still train. Just whether we go lighter or we don't do that exercise, we always still train either way.
Yeah, absolutely. And to just get into some context now, like to tell us, let me get up some questions. Like, Benny, tell me a bit about yourself, what you've achieved, hobbies, goals, and aspirations. So before we kind of get into deeper and deeper questions about what's like training, now we have context of, okay, we've been here for a long time, 3 years. We've grinded our fucking asses off, many sessions a week. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, obviously my name's Bennett Martin.
Yep.
I play for St. Bede's Mentone Tigers.
Yep.
And lucky enough to win a flag this year, Div 1 flag, which was really good. And got nominated for a League B and F this year. So
Which is coming up in a couple of weeks.
yeah, so top 3 either way. So pretty proud of that. And this year's probably been my best year in terms of football, so I'll just talk about that. So played Dragons, under 16s Dragons in April, played all 3 games, which I was pretty happy with.
How'd you go?
Yeah, played pretty well in a new position. So moved from on ball at local level to halfback, which was definitely new, but got through it and yeah, been playing good footy ever since, really.
Yeah, man. And in terms of hobbies, goals, aspirations?
So it's a long-term goal is obviously to make the AFL and play well there. And then short-term goals, probably Vic Metro in a couple of years or even next year, and consistently play Dragons games and stuff like that. And some of my hobbies, probably just footy, to be honest, and surfing and hanging out with the missus, really.
Yeah, so just getting immersed in it.
Yeah.
Madeline. What about yourself, Danny?
My name's Danny Plotkin, and before I started footy, I did track, and I made nationals a few times in that. And then after going with Chris, I went full-time footy. So
you were remember, like, to tell them, don't put yourself down. You were a really good runner. You're, 1,500 event or 800
Yeah,
were
I
you?
did the 800.
800?
Yeah.
And you went to the national level, state level? Yeah.
Yeah.
And where'd you come?
I came 7th.
So you already had a pretty, like, a really good running background. So, like,
Yeah, I think that helped with footy because I could run.
Yep, and then keep going.
And then I worked with Dirk, and I started putting a lot more effort into footy, and I think each season got better and better and better. And I think I had my best season yet this season.
Yep.
And then, yeah, I didn't make Dragons, but hoping to make it in the next year or 2.
And you captained the side that won the flag too.
Yeah, I captained our team this year.
And scored a ripper goal too, huh?
Hoping to make Sandy Dragons this year,
Yeah.
next year. And then in the next few years, I'm going to play at my school team.
Which
first.
is BGS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
consistently. And then long-term goals make the AFL as well.
Yeah. So we're all on the same path here, and that's why I think it's really good that you all boys have the same goals and aspirations to succeed and go where you want to go. Again, it's just all slightly different, and everyone's pathway is going to be different. And I think it's nice being here, not just with one of you, but with all of you, because you all want to be at the same position, but it's like everyone's path is going to be different. Everyone's journey is going to be different. But how do we all get to that same goal? And I think that's what's exciting. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you've done well. Like, that's awesome to keep building up, and those goals and aspirations. BGS, APS, good footy. Anyone knows about it. Playing first footy. You're going into year 11 next year. You have a couple of trial games with them as well, doing a training game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made the squad at the moment.
You made the first squad. There you go. Which is going to be huge. You play a couple of games already in year 11, which is going to be really good exposure for you. To give people context as well, the way I look at it is like Benny is just a wild running beast in terms of physically. Danny is like a short but powerful, like strong guy. Like, he's short, but he fucking pull people to the ground. Would you say, Danny?
Yeah.
Yeah, you pull people to the ground, don't you?
Yeah, I'm not like as contested as Bennett, but like
You're in there.
like if I'm in a situation,
Yeah.
I think I know what to do.
And then Nathan over here, he's a physical king. He'll just eat people. He eats people for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, in my opinion. Yeah?
Yeah, a lot of my games based around physicality.
Correct.
And, yeah, contact.
Good. Well, tell me a bit about yourself, Nathan.
Oh, I'll just say Danny's a bit humble as well. So what Danny's saying, like, he's got a BGS scholarship. He's a national runner. He'll downplay it a bit.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to get him to pump it up a little bit. Danny, wait, you're good at what you do. Don't twiddle those thumbs, man. You're great at what you do.
Yeah,
Danny's too nice.
But unlike these two boys, I wasn't like Danny's national runner. Bennett was raised playing football, always in that kind of stuff. I didn't really play any sport. Didn't do much of that. I just trained at the gym. I would play local football, Div 5, and I was just kind of muck around until I really met Bennett in year 8. And Bennett obviously kind of influenced me. He was like the main influence, like start taking the game a bit more serious. And I just hang out with him. And like every day, Bennett would go to the Oval. So I'd go to the Oval, and it was just training. This was before we came to Woodford's. Like, COVID kind of just, I know a lot of people got affected negatively. I think for us, it was a big positive. Like, instead of going to school a lot of the time, it wasn't the best thing, but we'd be at the Oval.
Yeah, like I remember the amount of times, like Nathan caught a bus to Dingley where I used to live, and we'd go to Oval and then we'd do a gym sesh together, or vice versa. Like I'd be in Sandy and we'd do Oval and gym together. Like we just worked so hard during that time. We just took advantage of it, really.
Yeah, 100% full advantage would be like gym and Oval in the morning, or gym and run, and then Oval after school would just be back to back at least 3 to 4 hours a day. And that's really where like I went from playing Div 5 football, like not so good, and I was able in a year play Div 2, not so good, and then I met Chris that year, got Bennett to come down, and then from there, like it's just slowly progressed from Div 5 to Div 2 to Div 1, and I was pretty like average in Div 1, a bit below average, wasn't playing like the best football. This year, my second year, I moved to a different team, played in Div 1 and played a lot of good games, playing some really good football with some good players, and year above, to put it in context, I'm a year above Danny and Bennett, and we took out the flag this year, and I had a shoulder injury before that, was playing gun football, came back, and because of Chris, as I said, the modifying and stuff, got me back for a semi, granny, and I was playing good by then, and just, consistent. And hopefully in the next few years, my like goals and aspirations. Next year, like no Dragons, that was probably a bit of like, same with Danny. I wasn't like, Danny's the same. Danny's kicked 6 goals in some games, turned it up. And then other games you can just barely touch it and not play horrible.
Yeah.
And it comes down to a mindset thing with us a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I'm the exact same as him with that. So consistency really lets us down there.
But we're like working on it a lot.
Yeah, especially with Chris, we always like talk about that. So hopefully going into the next few years will be good. But back on the goals and aspirations, I got a pre-season with Coburg VFL, so
which is huge.
Yeah, which is huge. So the coach said,
No, just to put on that, quickly tell them the effort it took to even get there, to get that.
Oh yeah, from like where I've come, it's crazy to think about it. Like you don't really think about, or like the Div 5 that you don't notice it as you're going along. You only really manage to reflect on it upon times like this, like where you just go back and you go, well, shit. I've literally come from playing with kids that do it as a muck around on the weekends to that I'm playing with semi-professionals 1 level off the AFL. Like I'm allowed to go down and train at 17 years old. I'm allowed to go train with them.
And I think that's what's amazing. I think people get so caught at your age just wanting to be like, there's just one goal, there's just one goal, there's one goal. I remember one time, Benny and I were having a chat in the morning, and he's like to me, I want to make the AFL. I said, what? He's like, I want to make the AFL. And I said, no, you don't. I said, you want to fucking dominate in the AFL. I said, if all your goal is to make the AFL, then fucking what? You know what I mean? Like, why are you selling yourself short?
It's like change my perspective on it.
Like why are you selling yourself? I'm like, fuck yeah, we'll make the AFL, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you want. You put all this effort just to make it. No, you put all this effort to dominate. I said, don't you want to be a fucking Brownlow contestant? Don't you want to fucking win a flag in the AFL? I said, change your mindset. Look bigger, look better, because you'll get there regardless. And I think that was something that you boys realizing that, okay, fuck, there's so many things I can achieve. Let's dream big.
Yeah, that's definitely. Like the part of it. Like part of it for me is like I don't really set. Like we always have our long-term goals, but once we write them down, I set them aside now. Like if you focus on it too much and you overthink about it, especially for me, like a big procrastinator.
Yeah, it's one step at a time.
Yeah, it becomes too much.
That's where it comes like the short-term goals. What mean like long-term goal means a lot, but the short-term goals, how are you going to get there? Like, and that's what Chris has really helped us with. What are we going to do this year with the preseason? How are we going to get to whatever our goals are? Like, whether it be Dragons or dominate the do VFL and all that. Like, just the short-term goals, how are we going to get there?
Yeah.
And I think it's so important to have those goals. Like, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I want. Great. Store it like Nate said. Fuck it off. Leave it there because that part of life hasn't even happened yet. And if you don't focus on the now, you'll never get there. And it's like people are like, oh no, but you need to sit there and think about that the whole time. I understand manifestation's crucial, but if you always just sit there and think about that, then you're never really doing what you need to get there. It's like think about it, understand what you need to do. That's why we have our meetings. Then let's get to work now.
Yeah.
Now it's September the 27th and it's off season, day 2, right? You know what I mean? That's where we're at.
Yeah, I think people take manifesting the wrong way.
Correct.
Like they think they manifest about playing in the AFL and like that kind of stuff. But for us, I feel like manifesting, especially Danny gave me a book a while ago. Manifesting for us is actually.
What was it called?
Was it?
Slight Edge?
Yes. No, I don't think it was the Slight Edge.
It was
That was my bookie dog.
it was like this mental conditioning book.
Yeah.
Correct. Nice.
And it was like step by step on like what you should do on game day and how to better prepare yourself. And with manifesting, it's not so much about that long term. It's manifesting short term before the game, like envisioning yourself and what you're doing.
Yep.
And that for us, that's the part of the confidence thing that builds up the confidence. Just envisioning yourself doing that kind of stuff rather than envisioning that long term goal. That's not going to help you so much on game day. Whereas if you envision yourself doing those things, a lot of the time I feel like I envision it and then I go out and do it. And then if I'm not envisioning it, I'm not thinking about it. I'm thinking about negative connotations. I'm thinking about what if. Like you start to think about negative things. Like you say, don't think about the white wall.
Yeah.
And then all you think about, what do you think about?
It's
the white
path
wall.
mindset.
Yeah.
Like confidence is half of football, I believe. Like,
Yeah.
especially with me as well. If I'm feeling confident, I'm playing well. Like, and that's just the way it is. And I can control that. Like, that's what some of the things in football you can control, like your mindset, how you go about it. Like, we got lucky this year. We won most games. But if there was a game where I was like, oh, I don't know, I didn't tend to play well. Like, and games where I didn't feel like 100%, I didn't play well. But it came to the point where if the confidence is here, I play well. And I'm sure it's the same with you two.
Yeah.
Like, if the confidence is up and you do a big tackle or something early, you're going to play well. But it shouldn't come down to that. But like...
But in the day, what you're trying to say is that mental ability plays a big role.
Oh, it's half of it. I believe.
Like Chris does all the physical stuff, but that's put aside regardless. We already know we're good at that. It's the mental side that matters. Like, and that's where manifesting really comes into play.
Yeah.
You got to know how manifesting's good, but only good if it's used properly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be used in the right way with the right techniques. And that's where a lot of these books, like Dirk's giving us a slight edge. I got what's the new one now that I have? Is it Mark Boris at the moment?
Yeah, Mark Boris. What's it called? What is it called? Can't remember, but Mark Boris is just a crazy book.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but it's elite.
I've had that and one from Danny as well, and I'm just reading those like every day. It's all about consistency with this, like small actions.
I was just going to speak about that. Like, consistency, being here all the time, 3 days a week, has probably helped us all.
4 days a week.
4 days a week. Like, just get way better over 3 years. Like, it's crazy. Like, you just kind of realize that. Like, if I come in all this time, like, early mornings, all that time, you don't see the results straight away, but it's maybe like now where we've won 2 Div 1 flags and that type of stuff and getting all the awards and stuff like that. Like, you see the...
It all adds up.
And it's compound interest though. Like that's the slight edge. The book I gave Nath and Danny is the slight edge. And it's pretty much about compound interest. You have to do the small things that are completely easy to do, but are also completely not easy to do, right? Easy to skip every single fucking week.
Yeah, those mundane actions every day.
The mundane actions, the get up, eat the right food, drink my water, you know what I mean? Come to the gym, train, put that little bit more effort in. Add a little bit of weight, be that little bit more focused. The things that you could easily be like, yeah, fuck it, we'll just leave it there or skip that. Shit that's easy to do, but also easy really not to do. Yeah. And that's what it is, right? And doing it over and over and over again is what creates that success. And I knew it from the start. That's why when I see you boys, I say, it's great, we're here and we got a long way to go, but the journey's already been so beautiful. 3 years, like you guys came and it's like, we weren't looking at results the first year. The first year was basic shit done over and over again. Even the second year, like it's just taking time. I think that's pretty special.
I feel like it's work. You get a little bit better,
Yeah.
and then you work. A little bit better. You still fail. Like that's happened 2 years for us, and then we work, and we do this stuff, and a lot of it looks like, oh wow, boom, it's just happened like that.
I know everyone, even before, like people come up to you like, oh, great stuff this year, blah blah blah. It's like it's not just the season we had.
We've
We had a great
3
season.
years.
3 years of
they don't
hard work.
understand, and like people will still say stuff now, like, oh, they look at the big goal, they will say, oh, you're not going to do that, but like, look where we've come and look what we've done now, and then we got work again, and we'll see what happens. We just keep at it and at it and at it.
You got to think for 2021, we were in COVID, so there was no awards or premierships to be won.
Yeah.
Like it was just we just
Worked.
worked.
We
And there
work
was
regardless.
We worked, and we didn't know the game because we didn't play.
Yep.
We didn't really see it until last year.
Yep.
And we kept working.
2022. Yep.
Yeah.
We kept working during the off season. Worked really hard. Now we're seeing results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just about working regardless of the result.
Yeah.
And that's what it's always been like, especially with Dirk, keeping us accountable and everything. Like, no matter what happens, we're still in here. Win, lose, loss, draw, injury. Injured, not injured, doesn't matter. If we're happy, we're sad, we're upset, it doesn't matter. We're still here, we're still working.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're always working around that kind of stuff, and we're always kept accountable.
That's the slight edge we understood what you got from. What did you get from Mike Bruce's book?
I've gotten
One
so
thing.
far, it's like the way you think. Like, you got to think divergently, and you also, so divergent thinking, I think, is more like open-minded.
Open creative
Yeah.
thinking. Yep.
And then there was
Convergent thinking.
Convergent, which is more theoretical thinking. Is that right?
Structured.
Yeah.
So we call it a box, right? So there's in the box thinking, like you know what you need to do. You got to fucking do it. You rock up. You do the RDL. You do this. You do that. Blah blah blah. Then that's your convergent thinking. There's shit that you got to just do, and it's like it's on repeat. It's the system.
Yeah, you
But
have
then
the
you need
system.
that divergent thing, the creativity, the extra. What am I doing right and wrong? Like you got to do the convergent in the box. But then you got the divergent. It's like, what am I doing not well in my game? How do I improve that? That's divergent because you're expanding your box.
Yeah, especially with me, like outside of football, a lot of the business type of stuff I'm really interested in, and
Yep.
like running my own stuff. So that comes into play. You can't just have one mindset. You have to have multiple mindsets, which I feel like I'm
Which you have
still
to
getting
switch on
better
and
at.
off, yeah.
You
You
a lot of
can't-
things in
yeah.
life, I'm still like working on trying to figure it out.
And you got to have that balance.
Yeah.
Right?
Finding balance was a really big thing for me. And like Chris has helped that a lot. Like it's always for me, I'm always like 100% in or 100% out. And that's the way I've always looked at it. And I'm not perfect yet, but I feel like I'm trying to get more towards that balance. I really struggle to find it, but I feel like at the moment, like we're getting a lot closer to being able to find that balance and be there.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Now, another really good question. We'll start with Benny again. Like, what does it really take? Like, again, yeah, you're not at your fully goals yet, but you know what it takes to get there. You know how far you've come. How obsessed do you really have to be?
Oh, it's
Like legit, because people say they want this, but like really, how fucking bad do you have to want it?
like you got to want it more than anything. Really, you're gonna lose friends, and you're gonna spend less time with your family. But that's what it is. Like honestly, that's what like getting up at 5 a.m. It sucks. I'll tell you right now, it sucks. But
Correct.
like,
Oh, especially with Bennett. Bennett loves to sleep in.
but like,
Haven't we heard before?
but you do it. Like you do it, and that's mostly because we train as a group. So it's more like
Accountability is there.
it's like oh fuck, Danny's gonna be there, and I want to I want to beat Danny. Let's be honest, I want to beat Nathan. So it's like I want to be better than.
It's all competitive.
Yeah, it's really competitive.
You're
like
pushing each other.
Even with Dirk, I'm competitive with Dirk. Like I want to beat you. That's just how it is.
Fair enough.
But
Let's
like,
go.
And in my head, when I'm like sitting there, like don't want to get up, I just think like, what are the other people in my position doing? Like who's got the same opportunity as me? Like they could be up working right now, and I don't know that, but I should be like right now.
Yeah, it's taking full advantage of the opportunities we have.
Like we're so lucky to be here. Like. And everything we've got and all the trainings and all that, like every single training session, I'm just like, you shouldn't be at the end of a training session being like, oh, I could have gone a little bit harder there.
Yeah.
Like you should almost be gone. Like the cardio sessions we've done, the running, all the gym sessions, like
It's 110%.
oh, it's so hard. But
All in
like,
or all out.
You do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because you want to get better. You want the things we have achieved, the flags, awards. You want that, but that's not the main goal. The main goal is making the AFL, and that's what probably sticks inside all of our heads, like when we're really hurting, like all that. That's what sticks in there, like this goal.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot. You pretty much you got to love it. You got to want it.
You
have to want to be better. There has to be that want. Like if you don't want to be better, you're not going to be it. No one else. You can lead the horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Hey, great fucking quote. That's a great
always
quote.
have to be like you have to have it. You have to want it that bad, and that's what Bennett's saying. Like if you don't want it, you're not going to get it.
Like
yeah,
you got to love it. Like you got to love football as the thing. You got to love gym as like the.
You got to love the grind. You got to love
you got to love the pain of it. Like
you got to love the shit that you don't like.
You have to love being comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
You have to love it.
I think
with the hard work, every time you don't want to get up at 5 and go to the gym, you've done it and it feels so good after.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you keep chasing.
What Danny's saying? Delayed gratification.
Yeah, like you don't want to do it, you do it, and then it feels so good, and then you keep wanting to do
like
that.
Even here, like I'll get here, I'm just like, oh, fucking hell, I could be in bed right now. But you do it, and it's just like I just always think I put my shoes on, like I put my shoes on to go, and then I'll do this, and it's not that bad. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'll get on my bike, I'll ride this far, and then you keep going, and then you're there. And by after, I go home, and I'm like, I did that, and I'm now like a little bit better today.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit better.
1%.
Yeah.
The little wins add up.
Yeah. That's what, as we were referring to before, a little bit better.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Danny, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, with me, I'm always trying to improve. So like if I've done all the trainings and I see someone else like being where I want to be, and I know that I have to do that little bit to improve to get there. So instead of like lying around for an hour, I'll do some touches.
Yeah.
Just always trying to improve and get better every day.
Yeah. Yeah. And even like little habits, like outside of training, like things that, your cold showers and the way you're eating, like
it changes your life. Like your life completely changes the way you go about everything. Like I don't have a warm shower in the mornings. I can't. The only time I'll have a warm shower is maybe when I go to the sauna or sometimes at night. Like it's cold showers in the morning. It's the food you eat. It's even the clothes you wear, like the runners I have to buy for training. The stuff I have to get when I come to the gym. Like it's everything around your life changes. The amount of time I spend on social media changes.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be on that. Like I'm not perfect. Shit goes wrong, but we work around it with Dirk always.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be on my phone as much, and then sometimes I go on my phone. Then we backtrack. Why have I done this? What's happened? I fix it up off my phone, and then we get back on the right thing. It was shown in the slight edge. Like small wins, they start adding up, and they add up. That's what we're talking about, the little things. But it's the exact same with the small losses. The little losses, a little bit of food here. And people always ask me like, oh, why won't you eat that? It's just a little bit. Or you can skip training today. It's just one training. It's one training, Nathan. Like you can come out to dinner with us. It's one training. They don't understand how much it means to us that one training, it starts going down, 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 and I get in these bad downward spirals just the same way that you get in the same upward spiral.
Well, it's because it's like that your subconscious is listening to everything you do. Listening and watching everything you do. You start telling yourself like, oh, it's one training, it'll be fine. Then all of a sudden, your subconscious, oh, okay, it's fine. So then next time it's like, it's a little bit louder. Hey, you don't need to do that. It's fine. Then it's a little bit louder. Hey, you don't need to do that. That's fine.
I think that's the difference between us and everyone else, really. But that fucking hurts.
Yeah.
Like if I miss a training session, I'm just thinking like, what could have I?
And it happens, right?
Yeah.
Like we understand.
Of course it happens, but fuck.
It's got to,
could have done something there. Like that's my fault, and that's on me, and I've got to change that. Like,
and I think that's the thing. It's like I'm not saying you can't take rests, you can't do that. And when it's prescribed, like you boys had 2 weeks off, beautiful, enjoy it, brace it. But like, and then things are gonna happen, but it's gotta hurt a little bit. It has to hurt a little bit, in my opinion. You gotta. If people say people who say, "Oh no, don't feel bad that you're having a bit of training off," like have the training off. But yeah, it's gotta hurt a little bit. You gotta know that you're fucking letting yourself down a little bit, and that's life. But you gotta come back and be better. Do you know what I mean? It's gotta hurt. It has to. Do you know what I mean? Because that's how you know you got to be better.
Yeah, like if you're going to do something else, like if you're going to go out and hang out with friends and you're going to suffer the consequences, you still got to rock up the next morning. You still got to be there. It's accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It's all about momentum.
Correct.
You get a few good days going, turns into a good week, good month. And the same comes with the footy games. If you get one good game, then you get a second good game, it just piles up.
Yeah.
Like as we're talking about this whole time we've been talking about it, it's the little wins.
Yeah.
One game at a time, really.
Yeah.
And that's even reflected on a whole season. Like, one win at a time gets you so far, gets you to a grand final, whatever. But, it's the little wins that, like Nathan just said, creates a good month of football, and then you create a good season of football. and then you play the next year, same momentum, you play a good career. Like, and that's all we want. Like,
Yeah, it's consistent improvement is like our aim in life. Like we're always wanting to get better at what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In life though, like
Yeah, it's not just football. Like this is life. Like this teaches us everything.
yeah.
Like
It
teaches
translates.
us discipline for everything. It teaches us character for everything. It builds us as people. Like this is part of who we are. Like a very big part of it.
people would say we're the guys that go to the gym like a lot and play football a lot.
Yeah.
That's who they know us as, and I don't care.
And
like,
so be it.
yeah,
So fucking be it. Yeah.
don't mind it.
Absolutely. Now, that's brilliant. Like, you got to be obsessed. That's what we got out of it. You got to be obsessed. You got to want it. You got to love it. It's going to be a part of you.
And it's going to take sacrifices.
It's going to take sacrifices. With all that, there's so many lessons going around. We're going to start with Benny again. Tell me, 3 years of working with me at WCC, what are the best 3 things you've learned? Life lessons that you've learned?
Well,
whether it be training or footy or whatever, life, I don't care.
Well, it's been like probably the number one thing is consistency.
Yep.
Like if we're consistent, like you really push this to us. Like if we're consistently here, we go up 10 kilos in that session. But like there have been times where I've definitely slept in, and then you would give us some firm words.
Absolutely.
And to get me back on track.
Sort them out is the correct way of saying it.
Yeah.
Sort them out hard.
Like, and you come back and it's just like consistency really is the overall message I'm trying to say. Like, really be there. And another one is when we're in the gym, we're given 100% effort. Like, let's be honest, when we came here, we were 13-year-olds. Like, we're real. We can talk stories about that if you want, but like, we were real. We were real, didn't like embrace the moment we were there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes we would fuck around a little bit.
Yeah, it's all right.
We were dickheads. We
were.
Yeah.
So be it. Like, you mean, and that's it. That's life.
Yeah.
We took it as a joke at the start almost. But like, it wasn't a joke as so much, but like with Chris, there wasn't that respect.
Yeah.
Especially for us, I feel like, especially for me and Bennett, I don't know so much about Danny. We're not people that just give other people respect for no reason.
Correct.
You can't just come up to us and be like, I want this, this, and this. We're not going to listen to you.
You got to earn it.
Especially Chris earned that like quicker than most, but especially at the start, there was not as much respect there for Chris.
It was like I got to hang out with one of my best mates, Nathan.
Yeah.
When I went every morning. That's the way I used to see it.
Yeah.
But now I say it's a gym session. I'm there, and you've really pushed that on all of us. I'd say stop being really enjoy the time. You only get so much. We only see you 3 times a week. I know it's a lot, but
there's only so much time.
Yeah.
There's only so much time to get work, and when we have this big goal, we gotta work.
And another one is with you, communication. Like, we have to be communicating with you all the time, what's going on, because overall you help us. Like, you help us. Say we don't tell you about an extra session we did or something like that, and we hurt ourselves because we still push it at the gym the next day. Or if I'm sore from a Sunday game and I probably need the sleep or something like that, I'll tell you. And I won't make it to gym, and I'll probably go that arvo, but it's just communication, and that's probably the same with those boys. Like, communication is probably the thing I've learnt this year a lot.
And why has it been important to you?
Because you have the tools and the knowledge to help me become the best football player I can. And that's really, like, I've had a couple of niggles during the season and stuff like that, as you know, and you've really helped, like, say it was my calf, like doing more upper body stuff. Like, I'm still training, but I'm just not working that calf, and then we slowly load into it, and then it saves a injury that could be 3 months, 6 months to a 1 week thing that we sort out straight away. So it's communication.
I look at it like Dirk is the toolbox. Dirk has all the tools, and whether you want to use them or not, that's up to you. Like, if you're not going to communicate, you're not going to be able to use Dirk and use what he can offer.
Like, he says he's there all the time.
Yeah, there's no point in lying and being like, trying to push in the gym, I want to do this, this, and this. And we learnt this the hard way.
Yeah.
Like, especially for us, we learn a lot of things the hard way. We learnt that there's no point in lying and there's no point in pushing yourself so much. Like, you can only push yourself to such an extent.
Yeah.
And that we kind of had to really figure out that the hard way. So, like, with Bennett, when he had an injury, like, sometimes he'd be like, I'm sore, but I don't want to tell Dirk because I still want to train hard. But the better thing to do, even though you feel like a bitch, is tell Dirk.
Yeah, tell Dirk.
You got to tell Dirk because Dirk's going to modify it and he's going to say, well, no, you can't train because it's going to affect you for 6 months instead of a week.
Correct.
Well, Nathan touched on it before. We always train either way. We come in, we train. Like, whether it's Nathan's shoulder or whatever,
Calf, doesn't matter, yeah.
doesn't matter. We still train, and we still work bloody hard, but and you still let us train. But that's what I love. We can still train, but it's just modified.
There's always something to do.
there's
Even if
always
it's
something to
for
do.
me, I got a really rigid body. All my ligaments and tendons are really tight.
We know
We'll
that,
loosen up. We'll stretch. If I can't train, I'm that beat.
Just
there's
get
still,
in.
Chris will get his elbow in. We'll get some treatment done. We'll use something. There's always something to do.
Oh, that hurts.
Yes, the treatment, absolutely. There's always something. We get the elbow in, we do a recovery session. There's something.
Yeah.
There's just always something that we don't have to miss it, completely. Do you know what I mean? Unless we really need to. And I think that's important. And communication, absolutely. It's when you communicate, you're keeping yourself accountable because one, you're the hardest person on yourself, but it's also the easiest to move around things that you don't like, just subconsciously, naturally, instinctively. And I'm not going to let that happen because we're here and we're here at work. And I think, like I said, for you boys, it's I care so much about you guys. We'll do anything to make sure you guys are where you need to be. You know what I mean? Even if I was in America and I'm going to, let's organize calls, you know what I mean? Times around certain things, the time difference was fucking 15 hours apart. We made it work. Do you know what I mean? Just to writing up your programs, even if I was doing 80-hour weeks, didn't matter. So I was I'm just making sure that you guys every step of the way are there. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm invested because I give a fuck. Not because...
That's what makes Dirk so good. He actually cares about us.
Well,
and that relationship, that brotherhood that Dirk brings, and the culture, it doesn't matter if he's overseas doing 80 hours a week. He's still giving me books to read, still writing me up full programs and checking in once or twice a week. Who else is doing that? I don't know any other coach that is doing that for us.
And he's to be honest, you're a big brother to all of us.
Yeah.
I can say that comfortably. You're a big brother.
Yeah.
You're not a coach anymore. You are a coach, but
Correct.
you're a big
No,
brother.
correct.
We talk about everything. We talk about
life, family,
all that.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. We're
It's
lucky.
like a family. It's the culture is so good. It's like a family to us.
Yeah.
Correct. And that's the biggest thing. For me, I love what I do and I love helping people. And for you, for this, we have such a good group. You guys are my younger brothers that I'm helping and I'm growing. And it's that's why when we communicate, and there's been times, absolutely, I've been harsh on these boys. I've been a bit too harsh at times. I've been ruthless, do you know what I mean? But it's because I give a fuck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Absolutely.
And you've made sure we know that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
the only reason, I remember when me and Bennett were like that and we were young mucking around, every time we know the only reason he does that and gives us that discipline is because we care.
It doesn't affect you in anything you do. It affects us, and you care about that so much that you'd rather.
That's what I mean.
If Dirk didn't care, he wouldn't have to do anything. It'd affect us more. It'd be worse. If he did nothing about it and just let us keep doing that,
It'd still be like that. Let's be honest.
We'd still be like that.
We'd still be fucking around and doing all that.
And it's just realizing that every moment that you have is so precious. Do you know what I mean? And especially those years, I'm you boys have something special, and I saw it in you, in each of you. And it's not about I see you something special because I know you're gonna make the AFL. I see something special in your souls. Do you know what I mean? You got something. You guys have something in your heart that not a lot of people have. And it's the moment you commit and you work, I'm let's make the most of this.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, we stick by it. That was my thing. Whatever happens, we just stick by it. And that's why, anyone else can fuck around and do those things, miss a session. But it's with you guys, it's I'm in, you're in. We're in.
It's that belief that really makes it so much more special.
It's that brotherhood. Even with Danny and Nathan, I've almost played 50 games with Danny, and obviously heaps of games with I go to school with Nathan. So it's that brotherhood. They're one of my best mates.
Yeah.
So it's it's just that brotherhood that we all have together.
The culture's just insane. I don't know how to put it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And the thing is, we tell each other what we're doing. We tell each other, you're being a dickhead, Nathan.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, you're being a dickhead.
Yeah.
That open relationship.
Yeah. When I had school trainings in the afternoons and I couldn't come in the mornings, I came in the morning, Nathan's given it to me, which is good. It means he cares about me.
Yeah.
We
So-
do care. That's honestly, even on, before, at training, at games, I'll spray both of yous because I care. I know that's a silly mistake, but, you need to get better, and this is how you get better. And Nathan's done it to me that many times, and because I know he cares, and he's only there to help me. Same with Danny. They're there to help.
Yeah, the
Absolutely.
open relationship allows everything's on the table and everything. We all know everything about each other. like when there's a problem, it's able to get fixed. Instead of one of us just keeping it to ourselves and putting that burden on us, we can give it to the group. And like every problem I've had, and at the start, like I think, I don't know if I want to go to Chris. Like I don't know if I want to tell him about this. Everything from now on, I've just told him.
Oh yeah.
Like what I need help
Everything.
with.
That's the thing.
Everything. Like everything in my life. And Chris will always give me something. And like I can't put into words like how grateful I am for that.
Yeah.
Always, bro. Always. And I think that's the thing. Like, I love it just as much seeing you boys like grow and become adults and like succeed in all aspects of your life is important. And like, by no means am I perfect or know everything. The only reason why I know that I can help you is because I just care. And it's like, I will do what I can. And it will never be perfect. It will never be 100%, but it's like, it'll be everything I got. And that's all I can ever give. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. That's why.
That's all we ask for, really.
I know. And people are like, oh, but this person might be better. And you know what? Fuck, you're right. But you know what? I'll always give everything. Do you know what I mean? That's why. People want to know why we are separated to the rest, why we're different. It's because we give everything, right? We're never going to be the perfect or the best at every point, but we're going to just give everything, right, and pull all in, and that's what matters. And I think in different aspects of life, do you know what I mean? Like, again, like I said, I care about you guys like brothers. And life's tough, right? Mentally, physically, we got to talk about it. And we talk, and for me, mental health, knowing different aspects of life, going through teenagehood, like I've been there. And I think it's important to chat about those things, whether it be relationship or girls or, you know what I mean? I'm going out or doing something. It's like, it's real. I'm not blinded by it. And I think people just completely forget about that. We're all humans here. And I think working together and, Nath, Benny, Danny, like I love seeing you boys grow and achieve different things in life. And the struggles, you boys are going to struggle. Life's going to be tough outside of footy. And I think it's so important that people realize if you really want to help someone, you got to be there in all aspects of life.
Yeah.
100%.
It's everything outside of the gym that matters so much more than inside the gym.
Yeah.
And that's where it really makes a difference.
That's what we love. You're just not just a gym coach. You're a big brother, and we all know that. And I've asked you about relationship, like all that stuff. Nathan has as well. I'm sure Danny has as well. Like, it's not just gym.
Yeah.
That's what we love.
Yeah.
Danny, what are 3 things that you've learned?
Well, recently you've taught me to focus on my own journey, not compare myself to others. And then you've also drilled into me, just believe in yourself. Even if things aren't going too well, just keep believing in yourself. And then with my football, you taught me about confidence and how it should come from within and not with like external factors, like you're playing well, so you're confident.
Yep.
It should always just be. And you've like given me steps on how to help. You've given me resources.
What are some of those things?
You brought me into like meditation, visualization. And I think that really helped me this season. And then as well as the books, you've like brought me, I never used to read, and now I read most nights before bed. And then, with the journey, like Bennett, Nathan, they're both on different journeys to me. And you've just told me not to compare to them. Just to focus on what I'm doing. Yeah.
I'm just saying, and why did the first two, like why do they help you? Like, why do they make you better? Why does focusing on yourself help you? Why does believing in yourself and being confident within make you better?
Because then you don't rely on other things to go well. You only rely on yourself. And that's pretty much all you can control, just what you do.
What's the one thing I told you about in our meeting the other week? About the wins and the losses?
Never take the wins too good. Never take the losses too bad.
And what does that mean?
Well, I'll put it into my terms in football. So if I start a game well, don't take that too well. Just keep working as hard as you can. But then if you start a game really shit, just keep working as hard as you can all game. Don't let a good start or a bad start affect how you're going to be.
Exactly. And I think it's just so important because people can get in the habit of like, oh my God, this great happened. I'm fucking happy now. It's like, what? So you're saying like, oh, I'm confident now. Like the external factors is what, because then you're always chasing. And it's like, yes, they will give you a little bit of a high. Yes, you will feel good. That's completely normal. But don't let that be the thing that drives you within to be good, to be confident, to dictate if you are happy or live a good life or play good football. Do you know what I mean? And if you do that, you realize that even if there's a loss, you're like, I'm a good fucking footy player. So be it. I fucked up, made a mistake, and I'm still a good footy player.
Yeah.
Fucked up, made a mistake, I'm still a good human.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Before
mean?
our grand final, you sent us a voice message. It was actually very good.
Yeah. Tell us a bit about that.
The main message was just work as hard as you can all game. Even if you're not playing well, you're having a shit game, just keep working all game. And I think that really helped me before the game.
Yeah.
Like the way I would say it, like how I looked at, we were all in grand finals, but the way I looked at it, what's the worst that can happen, honestly, with football? Like, we lose the grand final. We've done that before. We've all done that. We were
there
year.
a year before.
Yeah. Like, we were there and we lost it. And we still all had each other. Like, everyone was still all right.
Yeah.
But what if we win? What if we win? Why can't we go out and grasp that and win? Like, that's the way I was saying to Danny pre-game. Just go out and just give it your all. But the worst that can happen is we lose. But you want to win, obviously. But that's the way I look at it. So you might as well throw everything on the table because that's the worst that can happen.
Yeah, what's the worst that happen? You get driven, you get that drive and fuel to go again.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like,
That's exactly what it was last year.
It's
just
it hurt like that.
And
it sucked.
Yeah, and that's where I'm saying, like, people are so scared of the losses because they want the wins. But it's like, you're going to have fucking both, right?
Yeah.
So just embrace it. Have the wins, but realize I'm great regardless. That's not going to dictate it. I'm on my level. And have the losses because you need to lose. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to be a fuckwit as you guys are growing up. Embrace that. Realize you're an idiot. Grow up and be better.
Yeah.
And that's all you can ever do.
The losses just make the good things a bit better.
Oh,
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
It just made this grand final so much better.
you need to be able to feel like if you don't know what a loss is, you don't know how good that joy is. Like you need all the polar opposites, and if you don't have the polar opposites, you can't really truly experience what the other one is like. We've all felt what it's like to be at the lowest of lows and lose, and that just makes the winning so much better.
Yeah.
Whereas if you only know what winning's like, you've never felt what it's like to lose.
And when you do lose, you just can't tolerate it. People who don't know what it's like to lose and, struggle, make mistakes, you know what I mean? Look within. It's like, that's when you don't know how to deal with it and people can't come back or people just aren't the same, whether it be in any aspect of life. And it's like, you got to you just got to realize that life's up and down. We're just rolling it.
Yeah. That experience of losses and like knowing what it feels like makes you hate it so much more.
Oh.
And that gives you so much more fuel to never want to be there. And that's a part of the work. Like, obviously we don't rely on motivation too much. Like, it's a lot of discipline, but that hatred for loss just makes that win so much
Like, that
more
was
important.
a real theme, like this with our team especially. Like, just it sucked last year because we were the favourites as well. But like, it's just, if you know what it feels like to lose, how would it feel to win that? Like, and we just took advantage of it. That's what I really noticed. And it's probably the same with your team as well. Like, you just took advantage of that thing of losing, but then you go out and win it, and it's just 10 times better.
Yeah.
Because you've been in both situations before.
Yeah.
Like,
What about you, Nathan? What are 3 things?
I don't know about 3 things I've learned so much, but 3 things I've been given from Dirk. I touched on the brotherhood before, so I won't need to go into that too much.
Yeah, well.
And Danny said the books, but just the fact that like Dirk's always been there with the brotherhood and always looked after us and just always being there for me. Like, personally, I know he's there for like all 3 of us, but like the after hour calls, letting me in his personal life and looking after me has made a world of difference with me. Like, just in my personal life, like emotionally, mentally, any problems, always being there for me. Like, after track, Dirk will drive me to the station. He'll talk to me, and that brotherhood is something like I'll always carry with me. And I can't just put into words like a few like 3 dot points what Dirk's done for me, like the most valuable
vice
things.
versa.
It's been so much. Like, there have been points where I've just like really questioned myself and why I'm here, and like Dirk's just said stuff and like makes everything seem all right. And it just means so much.
That's beautiful. And I think it's vice versa. I think that's the most important thing. And the reason why people are like, oh, like, that's amazing. The reason why I do it, because it's vice versa. Coming into the morning being like, I get to fucking work with these kids who respect me, who love being around me, who trust me and want to just absorb and learn and be better and just be better and just grow. Right. And we have such a good brotherhood where we connect and we bond. And I'm human too. And like, you guys know about my life, you know about certain things. And it's like, that's how it is. Like, you know what I mean? No one's perfect, and that's why we're all humans, and I think that's why we relate and bond. It's not just because I'm this big fucking sergeant that yells at people. Like, again, we have those hard times because we're close and we're humans and we're together. And I think having you boys has been so, for me, what it's done to me is it's made me love what I do. Waking up in the morning, like it's the reason I get up, getting up early, working with you guys, grinding, knowing that I have these kids who just love being around me. We have such a good brotherhood and friendship, and we want to be better, and we just want to all grow. Like you guys grow, I grow. You know what I mean? And we just do that. And the trust, you know, to chat about like things we've chatted about. You know what I mean? Different things we chat about, even our lives. Questions I've asked these guys about what they feel and what they think. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that's big. And for me, it's like they're younger brothers, but they're here for me too. And I think it's one, made me really good at what I do. It's two, it made me love what I do. Like this will always, it's something that regardless of when these guys are older or not, I'll never forget. It's something that's shaped the way I am, the person that I am, and even as a coach and human. You know what I mean? And that's why it's like, it's very special to me. And when people be like, oh, you know, like again, I'll always give love and attention to all my clients, but people want to be like these boys, and it's like, it's just not the same because you got to go through something different to be like this. And it's just, that's not something you can find every day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like I like, for example, I made the Dragons squad, which I was pretty happy about. And my favourite phone call was to call Dirk with my mum in the car with me.
I remember that.
And we just had a great chat for about an hour. Like,
Yeah,
just talking about like everything and thanking Dirk for everything he's done, because this was one of my goals. And like, it's like my mum loves Dirk. My brother is probably going to
It's the exact same. My parents love him.
Like,
Yeah.
like
Igor.
Igor loves
I
it.
know.
Igor. My brother could be coming to the gym soon, so it's like it's just a real family
Rexy.
bond. Yeah. So it's like a real family bond.
And it's all families, you know what I mean? Because we're all here, like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're all just going. And I think that's the most important. We're all just humans really just trying to grow together, and we're just helping each other out. Me trying to become a better coach, me trying to become a better human, me trying to guide and learn and help you boys get to where you want to be and be that mentor. And you guys vice versa doing the same. So I think it makes it so special because it's just so connected that people don't understand. They just don't understand what we've been through together. You know what I mean? And the consistency of it. It's not like, oh, yeah, we saw each other for 3 years.
It's like
no,
900 days.
Yeah, it's
like
900 days of just hard work, chats, tough moments.
Jokes as well.
Like, jokes.
We have
fun. Fun. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Just like everything. Do you know what I mean? And I think you really, the trust and the level and the effort is people don't, like, I think we can try to explain it, but it'll never be.
You can't put it into words.
You can't put it into words. I know that's why people want to know, how do I get this? How do I build this? It's like,
it's taken so much time and you don't realize it.
Yeah. Because we've got a family now for life. And that's the thing. Do you know what I mean? I trust these boys with my life. I can chat again about things that, you know, you wouldn't chat to anyone. And that's just how we are. You know what I mean? And we're growing. And we're still growing. Do you know what I mean? We're still building. We're still learning each other. Because as you guys learn, we all learn. We're all humans. And next year, we're going to be different people, you know, growing slightly. So there's just more things to talk about, work together about. And that's, I think, it's pretty special.
Yeah. So much has happened, but we're always still here.
Yeah. I agree. In terms of the biggest obstacle, what's the hardest thing in your whole life that you've had to deal with? Whether it be sport, life, I don't care, that you've had to just mentally go to a different universe to get yourself where you need to be?
Oh, crap.
Do you want to start? Does anyone know? I'm happy for someone else. Like, what's the biggest obstacle you faced and how did you overcome it?
Well, probably, I don't really have, like, my dad's not around.
Yeah,
I know that's quite deep, but
it's beautiful. I mean, it's real though. We're humans, right? We're real.
Like, that's probably been the hardest thing to deal with. Like, not really having that male type role model around.
Yep.
Lucky I've got a really good family and a really good grandfather and uncles and stuff like that. Yeah, Walshy. And good mates and obviously Dirk. But yeah, I'm trying to be that man of the house, really. It's probably the thing I've really struggled with. Like, being there,
You have to step up, man. It's hard.
Yeah.
And I think that's real. It's life. And I think we can't shy away from the facts, right? It's real and it's deep, but it's true.
And the thing is, I couldn't do anything. I can't do it. Can't change that now. Like, that's happened. And, like, but once if I take Rex to the Oval and help him, my younger brother, by the way. But, like, once if I teach him all the things I know and that type of stuff, like, and give him the best opportunity in life in general.
How is it being such such an older male figure in the house, knowing that there's another male under you who has no idea the loneliness, the time, the effort, the energy.
Well, I don't tell Rex this enough, but I'm quite proud of him. Like for how he dominates high jump. He plays really good footy, and I'm really proud of him for all that. Like, I don't tell him that enough, and I'm probably not, to be honest, I'm not an older brother to him. Like, I'm trying to be better and all that, trying to take him to the over more, get him better, because I can see him really trying. Just he struggles with it sometimes, but like, yeah, it's scary, but like, because he's learning off me, and I make mistakes, obviously, like
as we all do.
Yeah, like I make mistakes, and he learns off me, so that's an issue. But I'm trying to be better, because it's more not of my actions, because if I do a certain thing and he copies me, he's got that, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah, which can be great, but can also be so scary at the same time.
So that's why I'm just trying to be a better bloke in general around the house and that type of stuff. So Rex can go up and be hopefully lucky enough to find someone like you or Walshy and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it.
I think it would be good maybe tonight to go tell him that you're proud of him.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe that's a task I'll give you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you've done well though. That's pretty impressive. Do you know what I mean? To grow up young, and I understand a similar but different childhood, but growing up young is tough. Do you know what I mean? And being exposed to different things is tough. Do you know what I mean? And when you do it, it's scary, man. And it's like it's tough, and you need to talk about it. And you're gonna make mistakes, but you just gotta try, and you gotta remember the same principles we taught. Like our training in our group will always be here for you.
Yeah, well, they have all been there. I've had family issues, and I go to Nathan's or whatever, and vice versa.
Beautiful.
Like same with Danny. Like Danny's dad's our trainer at the team, so we
love
close.
that. Igor.
Yeah.
So,
We all know each other's families pretty well. Like I went to Queensland with Bennett, stayed at his grandparents' house, and like I've met Amy like so many times. So
and
nice to
Walshy,
meet.
And Walshy.
Walshy.
That's the par.
Always looking after me. Same with Igor and Anna. Always like let me into their house. Cook dinner for me. Like just so nice.
Igor, Igor, Danny's dad is a physio, Russian physio.
Yeah, looks after me. It's just so good.
He's a magician.
He's a magician. He is a magician. Danny, what's the biggest obstacle?
I haven't had like too many huge obstacles like Bennett, but when my great grandma died, I could see how much it affected my family.
Yeah.
It was pretty hard to watch for a few months.
Yeah.
It was like last year.
And it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once you start, and you know what? Like I think when you're just grinding as a teenager, just living life, you don't realize what life is like. And I think, these type of things put you perspective. Like,
you take so much for granted at this age.
Yeah.
I always know. Like I still haven't fully grasped how much I've taken for granted, but so much more. Like so many things now. Like that's just starting to click. Like I take living in this country for granted. I take my friends for granted, like family, and like that's something I really want to fix up.
I think people take their parents for granted a lot.
Yeah.
Like how hard everyone works. Like
to put food on the table to live.
Like, for me, I've only got Amy, well, my mum, but like she works so hard to even let me go, allow me to go to this gym and that type of stuff. And she is even in contact with Dirk. So like, yeah.
No, she puts a lot of effort and time outside of her own life. Absolutely. And all parents do.
All parents, like I see the hard work Igor does, like getting to games almost 2 hours early for us. Yeah. I don't see the outside stuff, but even being nice to me all the time. Same with Nathan's dad and mum. Like when I barely knew Nathan, like they welcomed me into their home and have their food, sleep over, like all that type of stuff.
Yeah. The food, the time, the effort. And Danny, through that experience, you realize, fuck, like life's short, life's tough. We're going to have, your parents it's hard for them. You know what I mean? It's hard for them to go through that. But I guess, what did it teach you?
I don't know. It just taught me that something sets you back in life. You think about it, you think what you can do better, but then you keep going back to
just absorb it, you embrace it, and then you realize.
Which is what you've taught us with.
Yeah. Don't worry about the things you can't control because there's only so much you can.
It won't help. Worrying
just
won't
make
help,
things
honestly.
worse. And that's really like a mindset I've taken on. Like, I don't worry about what I can't control. And if I can't control it, just put it to the side. And what can I control? All right, that's what I can control. That's what I work on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's so easy to get, in the midst of thinking about things that, can't control or spending too long on things. I think it's more important because, again, a lot of the time, right, when things go wrong, people say they're embracing it, but they're not embracing it. There's a difference between embracing a loss and being stuck on something because you can't accept it. Like, let's use the grand final. You guys embraced it. You might have cried. You might have been fucking upset, been a bit angry. You know what I mean? Blah, 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 right? Whatever. Maybe you got pissed one time, fucking, that night because you were fucking like, fuck it, whatever. But you didn't sit there and keep thinking like, oh, no, I'm just, life's not good, Like, you were just like, yes, it sucks. You just gotta accept it. Life sucks. I put all this effort and I didn't make it. Rather than being like, no, it's fine. No, it's fine. But still being in a lump, you just got to accept it, absorb it, and realize
the world's not going to implode because you lost the grand final.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way I looked at it this year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the end of the world. Like, we lost, and we still had each other, and we still had our families. So
and you still ate food that night.
We still ate food that night. Like,
yeah.
But we won. But then we went out and won it. But how much better
and Benny
was
went
that
to
win?
Macca's.
I did go to Macca's. How much better was that win? Like, yeah, how much better was that win? Like,
yeah. Well worth it. What about you, Nath?
With me, I feel like I have two real challenges and still face them a lot. Like, I feel like I've struggled to do it. Is balancing that family life with training, and like, because I feel like I can always, like, I'm not a good enough son, like nephew, grandson, brother. I feel like I can struggle with that a lot, and that's something I really want to work on, like being better there, and also being able to train enough. Like, as I said, it takes sacrifices, but you got to weigh out what the sacrifices are and are they worth it?
Yeah.
And that's like a really big struggle, like just especially at like 17, being able to contemplate.
in school as well.
Yeah, like contemplate what's more important than what. And like something's got to give. Like sometimes it's sleep. Because I don't want to let them down and I don't want to let them down, but I don't have enough time to do this, and it will cut into sleep or it will cut into something else, and that really that takes a big toll.
Yeah.
That, and then knowing where I want to go in life and who can be there with me. Like, obviously, like, you three are always going to be there, but like a lot of other friends, like, it's a struggle to know who I can keep around me and like who are real ones and who that you kind of got to cut off. Like, I'm going here, I know what you do, I know, like, I don't know if I can hang out with you too much. And I want to know you, like, you're a great bloke, but I want to be so like up here in my life, and it's okay that you don't want to have those same goals, that same drive, but because we have that difference, eagles can't be flying with pigeons in a flock. I gotta go, like, it's lonely and it sucks, and it's like it's real hard, but I gotta cut you off.
Yeah,
that's what I'm like struggling with a lot at the moment.
That's tough, isn't it? That's fucking tough, man. Like, that's tough, and it's these lessons are just fucking. You're going to look back in 2 years and you're going to be like, I'm so glad this shit happened, which is weird to say, but you're going to look back and say, like, guys, what I love, right? And again, my life was similar to yours. It's like you learn these lessons young. People take so long if they were to even learn these lessons. And it sucks. Pushing people away, trying to please people. Do you know what I mean? I've been there, trying to work as many fucking hours as you can, trying to keep people happy, trying to do this, and then your own health goes in the back burner. You're not sleeping, but you're still trying to train. You're still trying to achieve these things. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like you got to live, you got to embrace them, and then you got to realize at the end of the day, like, what do I actually fucking want? Like, what do I want? And I think realizing, okay, I want to be a better son. I want to be there with my family, a bit more. So maybe you got to weigh it up. Because in the day, there's multiple facets of life. And what creates health, good football is not just training, it's sleeping, time with your partner, family, do you know what I mean? Because it refreshes you, things away from just training. And I think having the mix of that and realizing what you want in life and blending that all together, even outside of footy, whether it be a family, a relationship, you know what I mean? To get along with your sister.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Something that I've really been like trying to get a grip on is like not trying to be a people pleaser. Like,
Yeah.
you can't make
It's
everyone
hard.
happy.
Can't make everyone happy.
No.
Like, you gotta weigh it up. You gotta understand that people are gonna be upset and people aren't gonna
You
be
got to kind
happy.
of weigh it up. Who means the most to you, and
Yeah.
realistically, like your family's going to
Yeah.
be number one always, and then like partners and other things
Yep.
are always going to be number one, and that realistically that comes first over everything. Like,
Yeah.
because you're going to have your family forever. Like football's not going to be around forever. That's the thing. I've kind of realised. Footy's not going to be around forever. It could possibly last till I'm about 40, but that's really the end I'm playing.
Yeah.
But your family, your sisters, your brother, your mum, like your family are always going to be there for you.
Well, you realize in the moments that you're not playing, like who's there for you?
Yeah.
Like, you mean your family, you know, whether it be your partner or your mum or your dad, and those moments, you know, your friends, the friends that really do matter.
Yeah.
It's like, those are the things that matter, because when you make it, when things happen, it's like you realize time away from footy is important. And having the other facets of life is what refreshes you to be better at that love, at that goal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's tough. Being in people, it's hard. Like, you know, it's so easy to get in the habit of being like, oh, they want to catch up here. Oh, they want to do this. Or they want me to go see them. It's like, then it's like you're sacrificing your own time where maybe you could just be chilling and relaxing and refreshing your whole body and your mind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Well, I realised I kind of need that time. Like
You need it. You need time to yourself.
I need that time. Like
Yeah.
like a day. Like say it's a Wednesday, which is usually is for me. Like I go to my grandparents and I just chill.
Yep.
Like, and I don't do anything because it's first of all for my body, but also for my mind and that type of stuff, just to relax and not have any. Oh, I've got to go footy training and then I've got to do this. You know what I mean? Like, got to work and stuff like that. It's just a day where I can just kind of get everything in order. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and just rest.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you need time to yourself.
Yeah, definitely. There's too many things. Like, there's too much going on, and you're not going to make everyone happy. You're not going to be able to do everything. You're going to have to hone in the things you want to do. Understand, I need to do, like, the A, B, C. These are the most important. Like, I have this, and this, and what am I going to do to make that right? Everything else, like, it might be good to have. You can have that to the side, but these are the main things, and you're going to get them done. And that's what's really important to have.
One thing I feel like I learnt a lot with Nathan and Dirk, but like having rest days, like
Yeah.
like we need them. Me and Nathan
Yeah.
used to go all balls to the wall during COVID years and just train every day.
Yeah.
It got to the point where both of us burn out. Which,
Yeah, you don't
and you
like want
can't
to
give
play.
it-
It's
yeah.
like 6 hours a day. Like, during COVID, people don't understand like how long it
you get sick
was.
of you get
Like,
sick
yeah.
of, you get sick of football. You don't love it anymore.
Yeah.
And that's when me and Nathan, before Dirk, we talk to each other and we say, yo, like, you know, maybe we should take a week off. Like, and we do. And that's what we do. And that's like,
And yeah, you gotta look, and that's the thing, you gotta know your needs, you gotta know your body, you gotta know your mind, and
you've really helped us with that
Yeah.
as well. Like,
yeah.
we
even
need
with-
that 2 weeks off. Like,
Yeah,
we
Like,
just
we don't-
nothing,
yeah.
just nothing. Like, just fucking go do your thing. Like, go have fun for 2 weeks. Like, you need it. Or if it's like, you know, I finally get to hang out with some mates, go out. Like, you know, do that for a little bit. You know what I mean? Have moments like that because you can spend time. Or, you know, it's my partner's anniversary. I want to spend some time with her. Spend that day because you're not going to get moments like that.
That's
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's serious. Like, people don't understand where being humans, living a life, you know what I mean? And it's balance. It's balance in everything, right?
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean 50-50 balance. Yes, there is a lot of dedication and time towards the goal. But if you're not refueling the water in your body, the cup, you know what I mean, inside you, in the heart, in your mind, then you're never going to be able to give 100%. And I think because I demand 100% from you boys, I know that you've learned, fuck, I need to go back and I need to refuel that. Because if I don't, I can't keep going.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And we know our bodies pretty well, all of us. And we know,
Yeah, and your minds.
and our minds, we know when that's going to happen. And we just kind of attract a bit. And that's when we talk to you about that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
even each other. Like, me and Nathan have plenty of chats.
Yeah.
Our Macca's coffees, like, just talking.
Yeah, whenever we need a chat, it's always, I'll go have a kick with Ben
McCafe.
for like 2 hours, or we'll go meet up and talk about football if I need that, or if it's personal.
Yep.
We'll go to always do something like that, and that's, part of that brotherhood again, something I always got and really grateful for.
My boys, the last question, just a little quick one. What's your biggest fear in life?
Am I going?
Yeah.
Probably a pretty common one, but heights.
Yeah?
And
Why?
I think it's the unknown. I don't like, especially airplanes. Airplanes really irk me. because I don't get, this is a topic, but I don't get how a metal thing's in the air.
All right, Bennett.
Too much physics.
Mate,
Too much
I don't
stuff
get
going
it.
on.
But like,
A
yeah, that's
metal
what-
thing.
like it's a metal thing in the air. It's just chilling.
Fair. Hey, fair enough.
But like, that's definitely my biggest fear. Heights.
So heights. Just
Because I just don't know. Like, I just don't know what's going on. Like, I guess it's the fear of falling. Really.
yeah, that's fair.
Strange.
Danny?
Boats.
Boats.
I hate boats.
Boats. Why boats?
I don't know how they
Are we
float.
talking like a ship or a boat or
Like
both?
I don't know. I just don't like being in a boat.
Like, does it does it actually fear you though?
I don't know. Whenever I'm on a boat, I'm always uneasy.
Really, just don't like it.
Yeah, I don't
You
like
That's
Come
called
on,
travel sickness, buddy.
You're coming on a boat with me and Nathan.
Yeah, we're gonna put him on a boat. We'll see what happens.
No, because I don't understand how it doesn't just sink.
All
So-
right, that's
so one
okay,
doesn't
the
understand
plan-
how-
Oh my.
That's
Alright,
like the
no,
One
no.
person doesn't know how metal flies in the air.
You guys,
and
like-
another doesn't know how boats sink. Please, what's yours?
Mine's more different. These two, I don't know what they're going on about.
Don't
but
worry about it. Let it happen.
Mine's not fulfilling my full potential. Like,
That's so fair.
That's
I
like-
was gonna say that, but I heard him.
Well,
say
yeah, you
that-
talk about boats.
I heard him
You
say
just-
about a
you're just
plane.
talking about
General
other
fear.
vehicles.
You said
Oh,
you said
easy to
general
say
fear.
now.
You
Danny,
general
be
fear.
yourself.
No, I was gonna say it, but he said about planes. So I'm like just outside of.
Yeah, I'm obviously that's my biggest fear, but like that's everyone's biggest fear. I feel like my general biggest fear is planes and heights. Nathan's got to have a biggest fear. That's not whatever he just said.
That's fair. That's a fear.
Snakes.
It's not fulfilling what he wants.
I'm not scared of much else.
And that's scary though, to not fulfill what you truly want.
Yeah, well, it's not that. It's just not living up to what I know I can be.
Yeah.
And a lot of like only I know that. Like obviously Dirk has the belief, and like Danny and Bennett are here, but
But you got to.
like if I say this stuff to other people, they don't really contemplate that I know what I'm able to do, and I know how hard I'm able to work and how much I'm able to put in. And me not living up to that, and me not being what I can be, like how good I know I can be, and I look back in 20, 30 years because I took that rest or I didn't do this and I didn't push myself as hard, I would never be able to live with myself like that if I'm not.
I had a thing like, say you're on your deathbed, and David Goggins said this by the way. But say you're on your deathbed, and God's got a list of all what you could have been, and it's like AFL player, Brownlow medalist, all this, and then you go, oh, that's not me. You were say just a regular guy working in an office, but God says this could have been you. That's like my biggest, like probably everyone's biggest fear, but like I really think about that a lot.
Yep.
Like what could I have been?
I wonder if that's like other people's biggest fears, or it's like just.
Probably not.
I think it's, I think it is a big thing though, knowing like that, because life is uncertain. We have no idea what's happening tomorrow. Like
Yeah.
really, we have no idea, completely have no idea. We have no idea what's going to happen in 25 years. I think the uncertainty, it's so hard, and it's so important to have faith and belief, because you're never going to really know. You're never going to objectively know that tomorrow I won't be dead.
Yeah.
But I also fucking know that it's not going to happen. And all you need to do is just have the faith and like the belief that in each moment you have your values. And I think having values and knowing what you want in life and knowing who you want to be and what is most important to you and what's going to fulfill you and going to make you happy and what you need to sacrifice, just going step by step every second and doing that, just following that, you'll end up being where you need to be.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important. And the people be like, people get scared, and it's scary because it's so easy to get scared of like, what if I don't fulfill it? What if I don't do this? What if I don't? And it's completely scary because you put so much time and effort, and it's like, what if I don't do it? But the people who don't do it are the ones who lose the touch of their values and the things that are important to them.
Yeah, I'm not too scared about not being like all this great stuff, but it's me knowing that I'm not the best version of me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like when I say fulfilling doesn't mean AFL. It means being the best football player I can be.
And if for me the best thing I can do is play VFL,
That's it.
that's it.
If the best version of me at the best physicality I am, with the best skill set I can have, is only at that level, it's only at that level.
So be
but
it.
so be it. But we think that we're going to go higher than
Yeah,
that.
but like that's back to the things that we can control.
Yeah.
We might as well put all the things we can control, like training hard, going gym, running, skills, all that.
Yeah.
That's stuff we can
That comes
control.
back just being the best version of ourselves.
And we do that so we can get to that high level. But if
Yeah.
we end up playing Southern Footy League or VAFA, and I know I put everything into it, Dirk knows I put everything into it,
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah.
Unlikely it's going to happen, but that's the point of it. It's like, it's same with life as well. Just if I can only be like so good at this or so good at this, it's so be it. Have I given it everything I've got?
Yeah,
Have I
same
worked
with-
as hard as I can and as smart as I can?
Yeah.
And if that's
Same
it,
with
that's
school.
it.
Same with school. Like, you put in 100% effort, and if I get 60%, okay.
But
Like,
did you give it everything?
like,
Yeah.
And that comes down to balance. Like, how much are you willing to put in for how much you want to get out?
Yeah.
You can, like, 'cause-
Obviously, we don't want 60s, but like, if I put
You just got to be real with
Yeah.
yourself and be like,
Real.
okay, am I like? You got to be real and be like, the moment I put my head on this pillow tonight, it's like, did I give everything for the things that I want? That doesn't mean every second you did something, like just did footy. It just means that today, did I really wake up, give the energy, give the love for the things that I want? And it's like, if not, then we got to change and we got to build. And that's why
reflect upon it. You got to look back,
You have to.
improve, because we all make mistakes. We're all human.
And you won't always give 100%.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Tired, energy, mentally struggling, things are going to happen. So it's like, you're not going to be perfect, but why not try focus on things you control and be better?
Definitely, that's the way it is. Like, always trying to be better, always striving for more.
Done. Well, we're going to have this podcast again in a year, about 2 years' time. It's been brilliant. I think this journey and talking about it's very important. It's very special to all of us. This brotherhood is huge, and it exceeds more than just these four walls. It exceeds, it's love for all of us and the effort we put together. And this is something that will never die. But I think it's exciting to see another year ahead, another 2 years ahead. I love it. You boys should be very proud of yourselves, and I love you both. I love you all, sorry. Both. Together. Roll just said.
love you too, Dirk.
Yeah, it's the best.
Done. Well, if you want to keep listening to more episodes, again, like, subscribe to us, Woodford, on Spotify. Follow us on Instagram. Boys, where can people find you?
Oh,
Bennett Martin 7 on Instagram.
Yep.
Nathan Astor 52 on Instagram.
Daniel Plotkin.
Finally changed it from Plotkin Daniel. Done. Thank you.
Goodbye.